What's going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. This is my own little birthday special. I talked about how I was going to cover some basics of Archon hunts, right? So, and again, this all comes down to personal preference, but there's going to be some very overtly technical descriptions on how to do this kind of shit, right? Like, I mean, here, you could do Ivara. Ivara is an amazing option for this if you like that style of play, being, I believe, if it'll fucking load, her third ability, Prowl. Yeah, her invisibility. Don't fucking, do anything. Become invisible and steal loot from unsuspecting enemies, or take out enemy prey with deadly headshots. So you get a headshot damage multiplier, which is amazing for Archon hunts, by the way, which is what makes her so good. You get invisibility, and you get a constant energy draw. Now, granted, this build isn't really amazing. It's just a bullshit build for Ivara, so don't look at the statistical numbers of it. You can make it extremely good. But it's very slow, and you have to build her extremely squishy in order to get the kind of stats that you need out of her to make her really, really, really fucking powerful for an Archon hunt. Now, that may not be everybody's cup of tea, right? You can take Volt in. Volt, you can use critical with the shields. But again, I mean, you've got you're talking about survivability issues. So, I mean, you've got a lot of mobs attacking the shit out of you. So it's just something to take into consideration that, survivability is it's on a bit of a premium with Volt. Volt is a good option. I've seen people use him. It works very well. I've seen people use Rhino. Okay. I mean, there's lots of options. Personally, I use Nezha. Now, I've got two guns that I like to use with Nezha at this point. I've got the Felarx and I've got the Kuvahek. Okay. Now, the Kuvahek, we'll start with that because that's easy. It's a weapon that a lot of people will end up getting their hands on just because it's very fucking good. Okay? It really is. It's a very good weapon. The Vapor Hex ammo is better, but the overall ability of having a 4-barrel blasting alt fire that is a pretty detrimental fucking damage buff is pretty nice. Now, I do have a Riven for this. No, you do not need the Riven for this. Truth be told, you can take this fucking Riven completely out and just stick a multi-shot. Now, I've got fire rate on here. That's not really necessary, I will tell you that. Against the rest of the mobs, you can just use your other weapons. Don't focus on that. You can put Seeking Fury in that point, and then basically just a heat primer here, right? For a viral build. But the radiation build, that's where this comes in much more interestingly, right? This is what you're trying to build for, minus the Riven. Take the Riven completely out of the equation. Take Shotgun Barrage completely out of the equation, okay? Again, you don't need Galvanized for this because that stacks on kills. Considering you're going to be blasting alt fire at the head of an Archon that is not going to typically die in one goddamn shot unless you're using Ivara, base multi-shot is just fine. Fire rate, that's personal preference. You don't need it. You could use Seeking Fury, get a little bit of punch through, again, Seeking Fury here. Oh my god. Seeking Fury, reload speed. It's kind of nice to have with the fucking heck, considering it's a 1.9 reload with primary deadhead. So, putting Seeking Fury in its place puts it at a 1.5. That's pretty solid, right? The Riven itself is multi-shot, so that's really what does help and why I'm using it, but this isn't like some OP god roll Riven or anything. It's just good enough. But you could just use a base heat damage, okay? Couple that with Shell Shock and Blaze, or you could use Charge Shell, because again, the status seems nice, but you don't need status per projectile so much. But it's the damage type that you're trying to get, coupled with the critical capabilities of the weapon, okay? So, but your whole fucking goal is radiation, okay? Now, this is the Kuvahek build that I typically use. I'll even show you the Nezha build, okay? The Nezha build is very specific to hunting Archons, okay? Subsumed out his fourth ability, Divine Spears, because it's basically fucking useless because there's so many Eximus during an Archon hunt that Roar just doesn't really do an amazing job during the Archon hunt. It worries about trash mobs, but trash mobs, if you're built right, are just no big thing. But Roar, an 81.3% damage increase that lasts for fucking basically 38 seconds. and it buffs the squad within 25 fucking meters. Yeah. Warding Halo. It is what it is. Pretty obvious. You know, if you want to try to help buff your damage, it's okay, right? Like, it's okay to get boosted heat damage out of Blazing Chakram, but trying to nail a headshot with Blazing Chakram is a little interesting because the Archons are always moving, so it's a little bit of a problem. Okay, so Blazing Chakram is a completely functional thought process to use, but understand that the moment that you hit the fucking Archon with the Blazing Chakram, the attenuation automatically kicks in, so it's almost better not to use it. Okay, so just putting that out there. And then this Firewalker, honestly, is just, I mean, truth be told, this is something that is just more of a survivability thing, more of a, you know, status procer on any of the mobs nearby. So any of the enemies that are trying to attack you, this is something that is just helpful to use. Okay. So, but I mean, 271% ability strength, not that hard to get to. Okay. I mean, we're talking, you know, control slide. If you don't like Nezha's slippy slidey thing, it's okay. But it gives you 15% increased ability strength coupled with not sliding around like Nezha. But if you don't mind Nezha slidey, just stick Power Drift on there, or pretty much any goddamn thing else you feel like in there. Whatever's really going to work for you, okay? Just putting it out there. But, like, this build is not an unachievable build by any means. Now, this is what I was using for the first quite a distance run with Nezha and the Kuva Heck. You know, and then the Kuva Nucor for more radiation damage. And then the Glaive Prime specifically for the trash mobs is what I use for a viral setup, because that works very, very, very well for all the other trash bullshit that's going to be coming around you. Now, the other weapon option is obviously, like, you can use the Fenmore. Hell, I've seen people use the Latum. That's great. A really, really badass weapon, though, is the Felarx. Now, again, I have a Riven. Okay, so please take that into account. But this thing, not for its incarnate form, okay? But this thing is redonkulous. Okay, now my Riven gives me one thing that you absolutely want with the evolutions of the Felarx being negative crit. And obviously with the reload speed of the Felarx being as trash as it is, having that increased reload to put it at least at 3 seconds to reload the damn thing is very helpful. Status duration is whatever, base damage is whatever. Given this thing has a Riven disposition of 1 or a 0.5, you're not going to get some insane god roll, except for the negative crit on this is really, really big bonus. And truth be told, this really does need a full, with the Riven, a 9 forma setup, because I really want to get the most out of Fatal Acceleration by decreasing or increasing the fall off stat to where I can do damage from further away. Okay? But just base function here, just so we cover this, when you go full auto with this motherfucker, is 46,352 base damage. Now, are you going to do that against an Archon? No, but with Roar giving you an 81% ability strength increase, it fucking helps. You know, it fucking helps. So we got radiation, and then we have viral for the trash mobs. Okay, and the deacons. Okay, so I'm gonna put myself on. Oh, there's always that. Do not disturb. Cool. Okay. Now, obviously, I've already done the Archon fight. This spy mission, I hate this fucking mission so bad. This Jupiter spy is so stupid. The interception I'm fine with. I mean, it's a little problematic with some randoms. It's not necessarily their fault. They're just not used to higher level, that much overwhelming fucking enemies hitting on an interception like that. Some are, and they do great. The Archon showdown itself is an interesting fight, though, okay? Because it's a 3-stage fight. You basically run through the fucking map, do your thing, right? You run through the goddamn map, do your damn thing. Do the deed, okay? Then, second stage of the fight is you go to the gateway, pop up the deacon locations, go take out both deacons, and then go in and take out the Archon for the final part of the fight. Now, this particular Archon I find to be the most difficult of the 3 Archons to fight. Boreal is Boreal. He electrifies the fucking ground, and, like, especially if you have a glaive, he's pretty easy to knock back most of his fucking abilities. The only hiccup with Boreal is the godforsaken fucking sentience that pop up with the little fucking void jars on them that you gotta fucking take out. Those are annoying, I will give you that. amps and multi-pellet weapons like the Vastalok or the Stropher, the Redeemer, or or the Kuvahek, Tenedarka Plasmor, any kind of weapon that can do direct broad damage like that are very, very helpful against those sentients. And then his weird rotating pyramid thing, just hit the fucking points and it's gone. No big deal. Have a nice day. So Boreal's not that bad. Amar, literally the most irritating thing that he does is his slash attack. When he does his 3-stomp slash, that's enough to rip fucking Nezha's warding halo down and basically cause you some fucking problems. Naira, on the other hand, has this really bad habit of healing. Like healing to the point that you just want to fucking rip your goddamn hair out and fucking just quit the mission. It's very annoying. The goal is to shoot this bitch in the fucking face.
Could she somehow be responsible for what Era has become? A repayment for what he did to her?
So remember the general rule of Nezha, right?
Old, Tenno.
Try to get shot as soon as you start. Hey guys. Try to get shot, get some good armor going. That way you don't have to think about it. You know, I should have just used my operator. Of course, gateways, very helpful. Ah. Oh, of course, this is the one that's got the door over here. Get over here. Yeah, like, you don't even need to worry about all these fucking idiot... You don't really have to worry about all these idiot enemies, okay?
You found her. Stay
Hey,
on the move. Those eyes can kill.
Here, let me reload for a second. There. I like that. Because she's trying to fucking heal because these fucking enemies. Oh, it would really help if I had roll, wouldn't it? God damn it. For Christ's sake. There we go. See, this is when you have just piss poor aim. Now the kicker is because I just blasted through a shit ton of ammo, now I've got to sit here and do this. Luckily the pickup rate for the Felarx is not atrociously bad, so... See, okay, so we're good. See, man, these guys are trying to be dicks. So, basically, and think, okay, you guys know that I am a terrible aim. I'm sitting here running solo with this shit just to prove the point that this is 100% doable.
Azul has barred the way to us heathens, but stolen Deacon Veils should allow you to deceive the barrier.
Oops. So here's the thing about the Deacons, right? It seems like a lot of people have got the Deacons twisted. As far as how to go after them, right? How to functionally go after the Deacons quickly. Well, okay, there's ribbons that are around the enemies that they're close to, right? Yeah, Deacon don't like radiation. Hey, buddy boy. Really? You dropped your head down there? What a bitch. We call these Deacon Veils. It literally looks like you just knocked the head right off of a Deacon. Just here, bro. Let me run around with your head. Just use your operator to traverse these pain in the ass little parkour areas if you have issues with it, trust me. It's 2 void dashes, even a base operator has enough energy to do that. Of course I did that. Just go ahead and get the fuck out of here, you little robo dick. Hey, now we found our other buddy. He's over here in Olive B's little home. Why is he behind the gate? Oh, thank God for auto breach. Why, guys? Damn, auto breach twice in a row, baby.
The Deacon is invulnerable.
I know, the Deacon's invulnerable because I fucked up his homies. Glaives are beautiful for this mission, okay? Oh no, I'm on fire. Oh, that's what they did. They popped all the fucking thermal vents. I've honestly never come across that particular spot. Like, it wasn't even like that the last time I did this, or the last two times I did this. Let's see here. And just, yep, let's go up this way and then go drop it. That noise is annoying, isn't it? Ah, hey. You, sir, go away with that goddamn Forsaken nullifier bubble. These guys are pissy, aren't they?
I do not know if TheSallaD is truly the leader of the Archons, or their puppet. Of all of them, only Naira has the guile to seduce Era like this.
Oh, wait, point was jumping the fuck around on it. I know. Use your mini-mat. Go. Make life easier. And she doesn't like that. Excuse me, buddy. You hoe. Let's just reload. Man, I had her right there too. Now she's gonna be fucking healed back up. If I wouldn't have missed that one damn shot, I'd have been fine. Okay, can we reload now? Oh, look, I can bust out in Carmen. You notice that works too. But the pellet count from going full auto works just fine.
You dealt with Archon.
Because I'm sure somebody's going to be like, why wouldn't you just use Incarnate Form? Because you don't need to
no mercy.
if you can aim good. If you can't aim good, then it's a bit more of a problem. Now you notice though, okay, the survivability with Nezha, just simply having Aurora on there is really kind of superb. It's not necessary. It's kind of nice. Now, does the Kuva Heck work the same way? To a point. To a point. The Kuva Heck is slower because you have to alt fire and then reload, and then alt fire and reload, to where the Felarx, you can either semi-auto fire the damn thing, you know, just pop, 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 or you can full auto fire the bitch in the face. But if you're going to use a frame that doesn't have a damage buff involved with it, right, then something like Roar, it doesn't matter what frame. I don't give a shit if you're using Revenant, if you're using fucking Nova, I don't care. Something like Roar is, even though it's at a diminished capacity from what Rhino has, Nezha is, in my opinion, is much more survivable than Rhino. So, I mean, granted, you know, you can build up some hella fucking ferrite armor with fucking Rhino, so it's not to say that Rhino can't do the job. But, like, Nezha is a really, really good option for the Archon fights. You know, your companion can be kind of whatever. I prefer to use a Panzervopophyla, usually fitting to whatever faction we're going against, and considering I believe 2 of them are Grineers, so like a Boreal and Amar are both Grineer, and then this is Corpus, I'll use a Corpus-based Panzer as far as what they're, you know, better against. So I've got 2 that I can choose from for either faction. You know, so I mean, there's really, really good frame options here. Like, you don't even have to use Nezha. I just find that Nezha has, you know, when his Warding Halo's up, he's not going to get knocked down. He's got his 95% damage reduction with Warding Halo, plus he's got a fucking metric fuck ton of armor, and as long as you have Arcane Grace on him, whatever health damage you do take is going to be minimalistic at best. And if you really, really, really want to, you can use Blazing Chakram to really kind of get down and dirty with the Archons. Now, you saw, because of my piss poor aim twice in the first section and the third section, because my aim was shit, I allowed the companion defenders to show up. If my aim would have been more true, I would have taken her down twice as fast, which I've done before. I can usually take her down in about 4 or 5 shots, as long as I keep my aim proper and I just stay patient. That was more just me dicking around and being impatient as shit. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is not just the Archon fights, but I've been doing some dicking around and working with Voruna, okay? And again, because this is, like, usually I just talk to, you know, my clanmates about this stuff, right? It's a little bit of a different story. So, you'll notice Zephyr's Airburst. Now, the same can be done with Enthrall, but honestly, I find Airburst to be a little bit more functional, okay? Airburst is a really good grouping ability. Now, the build, if I'm correct, is basically the same fucking build that we dealt with before. You know, a couple of Augur mods, plus Brief for Spite for shield regenning. Arcane Aegis, just for a little bit more of a shield regen buffer. No, I'm not going to be running, you know, any kind of Dragon Key to really run a true shield gate, because I think that's just stupid. It's personal preference, and I'm not knocking you if that's the way you like to do things. But see, you could do Airburst in group, okay, or you can do even something even more kind of almost meme-ish. If it will fucking click. I don't, man, this thing is delaying like a sumbitch. Throw Condemn over her 4th. Okay, so just automatically cap her out at 1500, or well, not automatically, but hit a couple of enemies with Condemn, and get 1500 fucking overshields. It's not necessary though. Okay, and I'll show you why. Airburst, I think, is a very, very functional setup. Okay, this is so stupid. Like, we've got Equilibrium on here to convert health orbs to energy, and then we've got health conversion on there to change health orbs into armor, which Equilibrium will basically overwrite that and turn that into energy as well. So running out of energy with her is a little bit fucking difficult. Okay, so we'll just go over to like Ani. Okay, 120 to 125 survival. Okay, this is so dumb. Can you die? Sure.
Your
Will ya?
weapons make music, and the enemy
So status
calls
resistance.
for a song.
Let's go ahead and build up some energy. I mean, I could just fucking cheat this shit and just drop this bitch. It's kind of wasting it, but I don't care. I've got hundreds. Okay, so here we are. Well, I think... Yeah, that's max energy. So 425 energy, right? What I said was a piss-poor energy pool, which it is.
Life support has been cut off.
So we're
They're
running the
trying to
status
take you
resistance
out.
passive.
Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Okay, so let's find our crowd of dum-dums. I didn't even do the glaive blow up. Priming with the status procs, so priming with her 2, right? And then air burst, death. And then just immediately go invisible again. So prime, air burst, glaive, dead. You know, and then if you really want to fuck around. Look, full of energy.
Life support on the way.
I mean, it's just...
I've delivered a life support
I
capsule
mean, look
to
at
the
this.
area.
Status proc, status proc.
Activating it will buy
melee.
you more time.
I mean, is it a very niche playstyle? Absolutely. Is it kind of hilariously fun? Actually, yes. I mean, like, you can sit here and just stack status procs. Oh, no, see, y'all get back into that airburst. Fuck off. The beauty is, as long as you're killing... That was close. So as long as you're killing... You continually keep charging like it's Hunt.
Get ready for a capsule.
You motherfuckers think you funny. It's like, overshields only get you so far. Condemn is hilarious because as long as it's not violence, you can basically just throw condemn. Yeah, you can basically just throw condemn onto an acolyte when they show up. Apparently I got that Arson Xmas. I guess I did. Oops. These are the silly things that happen whenever I just start kind of dicking around with the builds. You know, is it groundbreaking for what anybody else is doing? I don't know. I don't pay attention to what other people's builds are for the most part. Tell me this isn't goofy, though. I mean, would I say it's like meme quality? No. But is it kind of funny? Yeah. Like, I can just status proc him to death if I really want to. That's all I want. I don't have the patience for that shit. Hey, get over here. Be status proc. The whole reason for the grouping is that you want to basically group the assholes together so they're all really close to the dude that's hit with the status proc, so that way the status procs stack onto everybody easily.
Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause. When you are ready,
So that way
go to
everybody
extraction.
that's new to this poor bastard. Oh, hey, you're down here. Here, big boy. Bro, where you going? Boom, he's over here dying from the status procs of my glare. It's fun. So yeah, so now we want to get out of here, right? So we switch to the parkour. And God be with me, because I am the worst with, like, fast parkour frames. But yeah, her parkour velocity goes, like, bonkers through the fucking roof.
Very good.
Voruna can officially, easily hang into more of the niche playstyle lower A tier for me. After sorting some builds out stuff, because, like, honestly, as long as you're okay with a singular subsume and a few things to kind of help do some build stuff, you could actually make her very, very good. Now, just for shits and giggles here, I'll show you the condemn build. Let's do another 5 minutes here. Come on, fucker, you slow ass. I don't know why this is going so slow. Thank you. So exact same build, some efficiency, little bit of range, because you don't need a lot of range. I mean, like Condemn, the fucking range on Condemn is 23 fucking meters. Like its Hunt has no range on it whatsoever. The range for fucking Fangs of Roshka is 34, almost 35 fucking meters. Yeah, I mean, this is solid. You're basically looking for strength and duration being the more key thing, and just a little bit of efficiency, okay? But just to make this a little sillier, right? So instead of running a grouping ability, let's go right back to Ani. Okay, the only reason I don't go to Mott is because, honestly, I get so sick and tired of listening to Vor. Because that's where Vor pops up. Oh, the tenor are unclean, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares.
These foes deserve your respect.
So again, status resistance passive, so the second passive, just because we can. One more pulse, baby, and we're good to go. Cool. Now, if for some reason you're of grave concern with shields and survivability, because again, if you're going to try to take her up on a higher levels, I can see it.
I have just shut down all systems.
Really can.
I'm sending life support capsules your way.
That was stupid. We're at 844 shields. Okay, so. Now, because these guys are chained and grouped like that, it's basically the same thing, except they're just chained further apart because the range of Condemn is just a little bit crazier. It's not like Airburst where you're grouping them, you're just chaining these bitches in place. I mean, fucking skadoosh, right?
On the way.
Oh my god, fuck the beams of death, for Christ's sake.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
And see, again, the reason why I'm actually preferential to using a glaive, because you could really use any melee. The reason I'm very preferential to using a glaive with this particular build is because, again, Voruna's invisibility doesn't break until the glaive makes contact or you blow it up. So it's really kind of a handy motherfucker to give yourself just that little bit of extra time to be able to recast. See, so here we go. Status proc, status proc. Hey guys, poof, you're dead. Now, the other funny thing that you get from this is the fact that whenever a goddamn acolyte shows up, as long as it's not violence, you can 100% chain the fucking acolyte for a short period of time.
Life support incoming.
I got slowed down there. Excuse me? There.
Additional life support has arrived.
I love the fact that how much gas damage actually procs with this particular ability. Oh, you smartass. Throw that shit at me, motherfucker. Notice I'm literally just not running out of energy. Between the energy drops themselves and then the build actually giving me more energy, this is a very sustainable setup as long as you're not using her fourth ability. Her fourth ability is what gives her energy pool such a disingenuous feeling because it just costs so goddamn much to be something that is not so ultimate. Okay, so where's our buddy at, right? Angst. Hi, Angst. Here. Have some status procs. Have some more chains. Now die. Bye, Angst. This is why the Condemn build is very funny. Because you can give yourself that extra layer of survivability. But at the same time, you know, like, it's not necessary. The overshields are 100% not necessary. But if you are worried about having the, you know, extra overshields for survivability, then Condemn is actually a hilariously funny fucking thing to throw on her. Again, though, as long as you basically status proc and either pin the enemies or, better yet, with air burst, group them, you will just continually keep cycling the invisibility and you know, the Shroud of Dynar, Lycus Hunt. Because Lycus Hunt, every time you get a fatal kill, it extends the timer of the duration of the ability. So, like, I mean, yeah, sure, if you are only getting kills with the status damage, then Shroud of Dynar will also you know, extend in its time frame, but it's a much shorter time frame anyway, and you're probably going to do like I was doing there in melee attack as you go. So, or firearm attack, whatever's your personal preference. I personally find that using a glaive, even if it's not the glaive prime, you can use the Serrata, you can use, I mean, fucking anything. The Zorus, it doesn't matter. I mean, Zorus isn't as powerful, but it'll still do the job on a bunch of procced enemies. But I absolutely find it fucking 100% hilarious with this airburst build. I really do. Grouping them together, status procking, grouping, and then just fucking throwing a melee in there and just constantly keeping the energy up, constantly doing all this just goofy shit. And it's 4 Forma. It's an Aura Forma, and then I believe it was a Vazarin and 2 Nerimon, I think. But this is a very survivable build. I ran her for like an hour and a half at Mott. Didn't die. But it's very intensive on, you know, lots of ability usage. So for those who are more into the gunplay and weapon play and less into just a metric fuck ton of ability usage, that may not be your cup of tea. But is she fun? I can finally say that Voruna is most certainly fun, even with the piss poor energy pool, because you can make up for it with the build for energy economy very easily. So, like, the only hard thing to get there is health conversion, okay? And that's a Samaris mod. If you want to plat buy it, at least on the PC side of things, you're talking 70 to 90 plat range. I don't know what it is on the consoles. I'm assuming probably 150 or so. Truth be told, just go do some Samaris runs. Go buy the fucking mod from Samaris. It's doing, you know, farming Samaris is annoying, but it's not difficult. You can do it day by day, and you can get pretty good standings pretty quickly. So, but that's what I wanted to do for my birthday. Show you a couple of, you know, basic weapon setups and give you options for Archon hunts, first of all, as far as hunting the Archons themselves. And I'm sure most people have better aim than I do, so that would have gone much faster for you with this setup, right? But it's all about investment, right? That's the key. That is the key, man. You've got to be willing to invest, okay? You figure, I've got no Archon shards in Nezha because he doesn't need them. But I've got 4 Forma in Nezha. 2 of those are Umbra Forma, okay? Well worth it. But 2 of those are Umbra Forma, and this is a full Umbral build. Okay, multi-augmented, and an Arcane Grace. Not everybody is going to have a maxed out Arcane Grace, but even like a rank 1 or a rank 2 Arcane Grace should be more than enough to keep up. Okay, so but you're talking 4 Forma, and then if you're going with the Felarx, without the Riven, you're going to be like 6, maybe 7 Forma. If you do have a good Riven, I'm telling you right now, the big thing that you want is minus critical. Everything else is just gravy, okay? Everything else is beautiful. Status duration is whatever. Reload speed and base damage for this is really what I liked about it, but the negative crit is really what you're shooting for with the Felarx. That way you just get absolute function, max function out of the evolutions. Okay? Or if you go with the Kuva Hack, okay, if you should go with the Kuva Hack, it's 5 Forma. And that's no more than you would be putting, and this is with a Riven, by the way, and an off-suited fucking mod, and a prime, you know, and 3 primed mods. And I still have 8 fucking points left, okay? This is no more than you would do with any Kuva weapon to master it. So, but, I mean, you figure if you talk about Nezha and the Kuva Heck, you're talking about 9, okay? If you're talking about Nezha and, you know, the Felarx, if you have a Riven, you could be looking at upwards of 8 to 9, you know, Forma. So, then you're upwards in the range of 13 Forma. 13 to 14 Forma, somewhere in that range. So, I mean, it's entirely possible. So don't be afraid to invest, because I'm telling you right now, it's 100% worth it. Out of the 2 weapons, like, I've had people ask me which one would I suggest. After seeing the function of both, truth be told, I would go with the Felarx. It's insanely functional. Both in its transmuted form, excuse me, in its transmuted form and in its base shotgun form. The shotgun form, the only limitation that you have with the shotgun form is its reload time. Okay, so if you can get it in incarnate form from getting headshots, you obviously saw me on the second or on the third stage of the Archon kill. You could just as easily use the incarnate form and get the same fucking result. Okay, so just fire rate slower, but it doesn't matter because slow fire rate is great with attenuation. So it's whatever, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. I do want to thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right? And happy birthday to me.